For this lesson, we're going to focus on significant figure math. If we look at the problem 3 meters times 9 meters, you might say that the answer is 27 meters. However, when we're doing significant figure math, we need to pay attention to the number of significant figures that our initial numbers have. In this case, 3 and 9 each have one significant figure. Therefore, our answer has to have one significant figure. So we round 27 to 30. Now, the rules for significant figure math are different for addition and subtraction compared to multiplication and division. When we're looking at addition and subtraction, we pay attention to the least number of decimal places our numbers have. In this example, 2.4 only has one decimal place. The other numbers in that example have 4 decimal places. So our answer, therefore, needs to have only one decimal place. When we add those numbers up, the answer that we get is 63.8499. When we round this number to one decimal place, the answer we get is 63.8. The rule for multiplication and division pays attention to the number of significant figures the initial numbers have. 1.23 has 3 significant figures. 4.5 has 2 significant figures. Now you might ask, do I use the 3 or do I use the 2 in my answer? The answer is you use the one with the least number of significant figures. So in this case, we'll use 2 significant figures in our answer. 1.23 times 4.5 equals 5.535. When we round that to 2 significant figures, the answer is 5.5. Now, it's important to remember that when we're rounding, the number that we use to round, if it's 4 or less, we're going to drop that number and everything after it. If the number we're using to round is 5 or more, we're going to round the number before that up by 1 and then drop everything after that number. So as an example, if we did 54.65, and I asked you to round that number to 3 significant figures, you would know that you're going to use 54.6, and then you're going to use the number 5 to round your number. 5 is 5 or more, so we're going to round that number up by 1, and it's going to be 54.7. We rounded the 6 up by 1 and dropped the 5. If I gave you another example and said 32.33, and I asked you to round that to 3 significant figures, you're going to use 32.3 and then the last 3 to round your answer, and that 3 is less than 4, so you're just going to drop it, and your answer is going to be 32.3. This concludes this section of our unit. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me.